Hi there, my name is Will and welcome to the next lesson of Module 3 of the LLM Zoomcamp. Now today we're going to be looking at the AI Copilot in Kestra, which will help you generate your own workflows with a few prompts. So let's open up Kestra and have a look at how this works so you can start building your very own workflows. So in the previous lesson, we got Kestra set up with a number of different API keys so that we can access different AI tools, but specifically for the AI Copilot, accessing Google Gemini as the backend. Now, as you can see here, we're immediately prompted with a box that tells us, we've got an example workflow here, but there's a few different examples too. So I can see, install Nginx, build a DBT pipeline, ETL workflow, and I can see more prompts as well. Now let's go to that JSON API to DuckDB one. What I'm going to do is press submit on that, and we're going to see the AI Copilot work in real time here. So you can see here, what it's done here is it has generated the workflow for us using the AI Copilot. But let's say we have some iterations we'd like to do. We can actually click on the AI Copilot and say, add a new label that is called type and put ETL as the value. So now we'll see it's going to add that directly to the workflow in an iterative process. So you don't have to put everything in the first prompt. You can keep adding prompts later on, like you would if you're using things like Claude Code or using things like Codex. So as you can see here, it's added that new line here. I can click submit like so. Very, very nice. Now, if we click save and execute, we'll see that it's going to run the workflow when we press execute here. And we'll see that it's going to run that workflow as expected with the addition of our new label. And we can actually click in and see the process of these running. I can see here what's going on. And we've just ran our very first workflow. Congrats to us. Now, let's go back to that example we used in ChatGPT, but in this time we're going to use the AI Copilot to do it for us. So I've got the prompt here, which is to create a Kestra flow that loads NYC taxi data from a CSV file to BigQuery. The flow should extract data, upload it to Google Cloud Storage, and load it to BigQuery. So let's press submit on that and see what it can generate and if it can match or be better than ChatGPT on its own. Now here's the generated flow. Few differences to what we saw previously. Now the previous example is definitely just pulled it from the data engineering Zoomcamp where we had a workflow that does exactly that inside of GitHub. So it's been able to learn from that. But in this scenario, right, we haven't specified how we want to give it that CSV file or what the CSV file should be. So it's for now given us an input of file type where if I press save here and then press execute, it will ask us to give it that file type. Secondly, we've got that upload task, which gives it the input. So we haven't got to add the expression manually. And it asks us here with a comment that we need to update this field because we didn't tell it what it should be. So it's just filled in a blank. And then we've got the load to BigQuery. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's making a lot of assumptions, but it's made it clear with the comments that it's making a lot of assumptions. And we can now go back with the AI Copilot and we can iterate. I can give it more context. I can ask it to change things about this. For example, I can say, download the file first instead of from an input. The URL should be an input. So now, it will look a little bit more like what ChatGPT generated, but we're able to just build with goals rather than having to write each step manually. And one of the things I really like about this is when you prompt it, it gives you an option to accept or reject what it gives you. So here I can easily see the different input types. It's changed the input type. We've added a task. If I press accept and click save, we can see that the topology view has now gained a task, and we can see that it's, change the expressions throughout this a little bit as well. This is a really good reminder of the 5% rule. Copilot has built us the majority of our workflow. We haven't had to go through documentation and schemas to figure out what these tasks should look like. But it hasn't got us all the way there. We're going to have to now go and add our own environment names, whether that's the bucket we're using, the project on Google Cloud, the location of the data warehouse, whatever it may be, we've got to go add those in unless we give it the context to do it for us. And it's worth reviewing the generation anyway, because you might need to make small adjustments anyway, just to work exactly for your scenario. At the end of the day, pipelines are designed to be deterministic, so we want to make sure they're reliable in their iterations. All we've had to do is fill in the gaps. The bulk of the structure has been done thanks to the AI Copilot. Now, I'd recommend going away and playing around with this. In the lesson on GitHub, we've got a number of different example conversations you could have with the AI Copilot, but also try your own. We'd love to hear what you think of the AI Copilot. And like I said, you can build iteratively. So you could say, hey, generate new flows, or add tasks, or configure triggers, or add error handling. You can add all these things on later. You can build the original flow and then make it ready for production with a few extra prompts. On a separate note, we also have an agent skill for building your workflows. I'll have a link for that in the lesson on GitHub. But if you go to our GitHub, we've got agent skills for Claude Code or Codex for generating flows. Very similar to how the AI Copilot works if you're building them locally rather than directly inside a Kestra. But it can access that direct schema from the Kestra API, so it knows what it's building. It uses the most up-to-date tasks. If there's new plugins that have just been released, it will use those too. So it's definitely the most reliable way where giving these AI models context can go a long way. Let me know if you want to play around with that skill. I'd love to hear your feedback. Now, in the next episode, we're going to have a look at RAG workflows and how we can start building RAG in an automated fashion. So make sure to subscribe to the Kestra YouTube channel if you're interested in the next lesson.